Okay, as we take this stuff down now, I just wanted to show people a couple of points so that obviously you always learn from what you do. Try to make it better the next time. This is my favorite room, this or hall. We spent probably hours working on these, these styrofoam stone-looking things and these vacuum form panels, which were really great. But the problem was nobody saw them because we basically had this whole thing was just way too dark. We had this drop lighting, was a blue 9-volt powered, these things called mucus lights that we pointed out. I don't know if you can see them up there, but it just wasn't enough light. So again, if you're presenting detail that you want to be seen, you're going to have to make a compromise. The one thing that did work very nicely were these little hand ports here. Because it was dark, nobody saw those coming, and that was a definite plus. So we did achieve the desired scare effect. That's just probably our own personal preference. These things were real cool looking. We'll probably use them next year in a different way. The other thing here is this door. This is a sliding door. We've used this for the last couple of years. And one thing that happens, I guess is prone to happen with these floor-based things with the wheels, is that they do come out of the track. That's exactly what happened. This door, probably about halfway into the haunt, this came out. And I mean, it slides, but it's clearly out of the track. And so it couldn't be closed reliably. So next year, I think we're going to have we're going to use a above door track mechanism that I've seen, and I think that's going to work better. Now this last thing here, this was the bees, which again I don't think very many people saw. We had this real bee's nest, and these things here were flying around. Nobody really saw them because it was too dark. We had the sound effect. The spider drops, I don't know if they really worked too well. I mean, it was dark, but this room was not as effective as we thought it might be. This was the cave room. We're starting to take this down now. This worked nicely with the cave lights. Down in here was the Pepper's Ghost Illusion, and I thought that worked great. We're going to have a souped up version next year with a moving ghost. But one thing that we noticed here was this person was sitting in this back area here. He was the reflection onto the chair, which isn't there right now, but part of it was the actor. He kept making noises even after the lights went out, so people were kind of peeking back here, wondering where it was coming from. So that was a communication breakdown, I think, but overall the effect was positive. People liked the ghost illusion. This hallway was pretty dark, but we did have this lantern which lit up. It's not lit up now, and the gate I thought was a cool transition. And what I did was I kind of started having it move back and forth. I was able to control it from behind the wall there. That was a definite plus. And then the prison room, that worked pretty well, I thought, although the actors really were not. Probably could have been dressed up a little bit. So that was another actor issue. Coming down here, these sheets are kind of in the way, but this was the corpse in the trash can. It did keep coming out of it. It didn't seat properly, and people kept pulling it up, and it kind of had mixed results, but overall I thought that was a cool effect. And we had the strobe lights in the trash can there. This was the transition area for the vortex, which was just sort of a entryway to the vortex. So that's pretty much the assessment afterward. We're coming up with some good ideas for next year, which we're going to post before we sign off. These were the hallways where the workers stayed. The one operator for the door. Remember, this is the door that came out of the track. We're going to try to fix that for next year. This is where the operators were that were able to use the hand ports. I thought the structure was pretty good. We didn't have any major wall failures. We had the 2x4 reinforcements with sheeting in between. We probably could have beefed up a couple of areas. But the main thing I think was this entry hall was a great, looked awesome, but it was too dark. So if you're planning these out and you want to have scenery, you want to have atmosphere, sort of create an illusion, an effect, and you want to combine that with a scare, you just have to be aware that people may or may not be seeing the same things you are.